In 7.5, your calculator doesn't have any really cool tricks for you. You're going to have to know what you're doing on this. And so I'm going to go through one example with you on page 411, number 19, on carbohydrates. Okay, so you have a snack food manufacturer estimating a variance in the number of grams in carbs. They estimate it at 1.25. A dietitian tests it and finds in a sample of 22 servings, they had a variance of 1.35. At alpha 0.05, is that enough evidence to reject the manufacturer's claim? Now, since this is working with variance and standard deviation, you have to use your chi-square chart. And so you'll be using the information back in the appendix under chi-square or in your printout if you printed out those charts and formulas. So before I go anywhere else, I'm going to write down the information that I have here. They said that it is 1.25, so that is my claim, and it is the variance that they're claiming, so it's sigma squared equals 1.25. So this is going to be the claim. Our alternate hypothesis then is not equal to, and writing down our information for our test, they tested and got s squared equal to 1.35, n is equal to 22, and remember from that chart, they have to use a degree of freedom, which is 22 minus 1, or 21. Alpha is 0.05. So I'm drawing my little chart, and I know that it's a two-tailed test since it's not equal to. So I'm going to have two cutoffs. Now, I wrote down my cutoff marks, but I'm going to show you where I got them. I turned back to the appendix, or turn to that table 6 for the chi-square chart. And since it is a two-tailed test, notice that that alpha has to be split equally between both tails. So instead of 0.05 in each tail, I have half of that, or 0.025 in each tail. And so when I'm dealing with this chart, I'm going to be going down for my degrees of freedom of 21. And then I know I'm going to have 0.025 on this side. That's where I got my 35.479. And I've got a 0.975. Notice I count in 1, 2, 3 on this side. That means I count in 1, 2, 3 on this side. And I go down to my 21, and that's where I got my 10.283. So those are my two cutoffs on my chart, just gotten from right here. All right, so now all I have to do is put this information into that simple formula. So these are actually easier to do in my estimation. N minus 1, 22 minus 1 is 21. I'm going to multiply that by my s squared, or 1.35, and then divide by my sigma squared, the 1.25. And then I see where that lies. And no tricks to this. I'm just going to put it straight into my calculator. 21 times 1.35 divided by 1.25. I end up with 22.68. So the 22.68 ends up being between those two. So that ends up in the H0, or the non-rejection zone. I'm not going to reject H0. I'm not going to reject this one. So I am actually supporting their claim that that variance is 1.25.